Starts off with Ota Haya, seeing Isagi's on the bench. As Bachua notices too, he says, "I'm going ahead, you egoistic." Isagi thinks to himself that, remembering that he couldn't beat Kaiser or anyone else, that he didn't get picked for the 11 starting players, and is mad that Kunigami was able to claw himself up through the wildcard battle. And then Lavino and Noah start talking to each other, saying stuff like, and using the star change system. Each master will also be serving as his team's coach. As the kickoff begins, Kaiser gets the ball and passes it to Ness. Passes it to Grim. As Grim dribbles past everyone, Isagi thinks that he is really good. Then Grim passes it to Eric. Says the pass was very sloppy. Then Eric starts dribbling like crazy, gets past the defenders and passes it to Kunigami, who catches it with his chest, but when he tries to score, he misses. The goalie blocks, as Isagi thinks he'd expect no less from a world-class goalie. But Isagi still thinks that Kunigami has evolved. But Ness isn't happy that he didn't pass to Kaiser. Then Ness grips his hand into Kunigami's shoulder, saying, "This is your first yellow card for lack of loyalty to Kaiser." Bachua gets the ball, and Isagi is wondering how much progress Bachua made in the 10 days of training. As Bachua thinks about what dance he's gonna do, the scene cuts to 10 days earlier in the Spain ring, as a lot of people are like, "Holy crap." And then Lavino comes and gives them earplugs and earbuds. As everyone is in shock, Lavino says, "I guess I am the master here, but I ain't teaching you crap about soccer." Everyone is shocked on what he said except for Bachua. As Lavino says he's the best in the world, Bachua says he thinks Noah is, because that's what they say on TV. But Lavino says he is the best, and he has his own words, "best inside me," and says it doesn't belong to anyone else. It's a visualization. If you want to be best in the world, then you can't listen to what anyone says. As Lavino starts dancing with the ball, he claims something known as ginga. And he says your originality starts here, as he starts dancing with the ball. Faint picture of a butterfly appears, and he says, "My visualization is a butterfly, and the field's a stage." Everyone looks shocked, as then Lavino starts dancing, and then Bachua steals the ball and also starts dancing. As Lavino looks shocked for a second, but turns back to his playful state and tells Bachua that's it, he's doing good. And now he has his own visualization. One can take his originality. Bachua walks up to Lavino and says he has his own visualization, and he calls it the monster. Lavino says that's not a bad start, sounds pretty original. "But I overcame my monster to get stronger," Bachua said. "If I want to get even stronger, I need to visualize." "Is the monster gone?" Lavino says. Bachua says no, it's still there if he pictures it. Lavino says then it's simple. Make that monster evolve. Lavino says your unique visualization is a guidepost to become the world's best. Scene cuts back to Bachua dribbling, and he grips the ball with his foot and then glides past a German guy. Everyone looks very shocked, even Isagi. And Isagi thinks it's different how Bachua now holds himself. As another defender comes, Bachua doesn't make a move. But then, faint pictures of monsters appear as he starts dribbling the ball but doesn't move at all. Then the defender tries to get it. Then barcha zips right past him. Barcha says, "This is Mega Barcha's new style of dribbling. My Ginga X monster." Lavinia is proud now. Isagi thinks to himself, "Holy crap. Barcha, you surpassed my expectations." Zuke Kunigami comes to go against barcha, as barcha says, "Let's do this, you wild hero." Kunigami says, "Barcha, if you're looking for a dance partner, then I'll lead." Barcha sees that Kunigami is keeping up, so he tries a wide double touch. He turns into a double gear double touch. Barcha says, "My dance partners need more than just muscles." Wim and Eric come to try and block Barcha. Barcha has no choice but to pass it to Laura, who passes it to Otahaya, the barcha. And then barcha thinks it's a freestyle, then says B shot, and he scores as a fake picture of a bee appears. Everyone is shocked, but not everyone as much as Isagi, as Isagi thinks this is Spain. The score is now 0-1. Barca is in the lead of Munchen. Isagi thinks to himself, if he ignores a certain rule, then he'll end up isolated with Kunigami. This time it's not just Kaiser to prove himself to be a member of Munchen. Ness gets the ball and passes it to Kaiser, and Ness asks Kaiser what comes next, as Kaiser says an execution. Ness says, "Okay, Kaiser," and asks if it's a public execution. And Kaiser says yes, and go Ness. Kaiser runs past two defenders as Ness passes the ball. Or so everyone thought. Otahaya tries to steal it, but Ness dribbles past him. Isagi thinks to himself, this is the heart of Munchen, Ness the magician. Defenders block the path for Ness to pass to Kaiser, but as more come, he pictures more ways to pass. He passes to Kaiser, but barcha comes and wants to whack him. Kaiser puts his hand on barcha's chest so he can't get him, as he puts the ball under someone's leg, but then gets it back before it goes fully under to do a nutmeg. As the ball's in the air, he kicks his leg really fast to create a volley. So fast that many people didn't even know that he shot. Not even the goalkeeper. He just looked there in shock. Kaiser lifts his arms up and says executed as everyone is shocked. Isagi says he's a genius. Calls the move, Kaiser's impact. Noah comes and says the speed of his kick is second to none. In that regard, he surpasses even me, Kaiser's impact. Barcha spins the ball in his fingers and says, out in there, the world, huh? There's some pretty crazy egoists. You're awesome, Kaiser, Barcha says. I'm gonna dance on your grave. And Lavinia does the star change system. Everyone is shocked, except for his teammates. But then Noah comes out and everyone is happy and excited for a match. As then Lavinia starts to get immature. Noah says, "Why feel bad for your team of unchampioned children?" And then veins pop on Lavino's face, and he says, "I'm gonna kill you." And then Weichi starts laughing, and the others laugh worriedly. But Weichi is laughing like it's funny. Noah asks Kunigami what he has a reasoning for his loss. Kunigami says he doesn't have one. And Noah says that's a cool-headed answer. And Noah says Isagi is out and Kunigami is in. Isagi is surprised, but Yukimiya comes in saying he is better than Isagi from his training week. Noah says he understands that, but Yukimiya is still confused. And Noah says fan service. The world wants Isagi. And Noah says, "Get out here, the hero Blue Lock." Isagi thinks this is earlier than he expected, but he gets to play with Noah. Noah asks for any objections, and Isagi says there's no objections and he's going. As everyone gets ready, Bachua and Kaiser welcome Isagi to the field. Isagi is excited since he gets to play with the striker he's admired since he was 5 years old. As Lavino gets the ball, Noah goes head-to-head with Lavino. As Lavino calls Noah a cyborg and says he can't steal my freedom. Noah says, "Freedom? I think you mean pointlessness." Lavino tries to dribble past Noah, but Noah won't let him. Isagi thinks it's a duel between two gods. And Isagi, he has to go and make it a 2-on-1 battle. But then Lavino glares at Isagi and does a rainbow flick, and Isagi is really shocked by his skill. Noah comes and hits Isagi on the head and asks him if he knows why Lavino is called the Dance Man. Isagi says he doesn't know, but Noah says he makes them sway like they're dancing. And Noah says Lavino calls it the dance of defeat. The goalkeeper slides at Lavino, but Lavino jumps and goes to the net and says, "I'm a free-flying butterfly that calls upon death." Then he kicks it in the door and says, "Dance until you're dead." And Bachua is really happy. It's now a 2-1. As Otaya says that was sick, and Lavino yells "yeah" and asks if they saw his butterfly moves. And Kaiser goes to pat Isagi on the head and calls him and says, "Talk about a rough time, little clown." And he says, "You just don't have what it takes to get between those two gods." Isagi tells him to shut up and said he didn't do anything and just watched. Kaiser corrects him, saying he couldn't and he didn't. And he said that he would get in the way if he went against them. Calls him a clown again for not knowing something so basic. And Isagi thinks he can't get in the game at all. Isagi thinks to himself that he needs to devour the superstars. And Noah looks at Isagi and Isagi looks at Noah as Kaiser passes the nest. Noah starts dashing with acceleration, probably faster than Cheegoly, and tells Ness to pass, and Ness passes. As the defender tries to get in the way, Noah grabs his chest, causing it so he can't move. Isagi thinks that Noah is a dribbling machine, and then Noah passes to Kaiser. Kaiser passes back to Noah, who has a defender on him, but Kaiser knows that he can keep the ball. As Noah runs toward the goal, and Lavinho comes. As Lavinho tries to slide tackle him, Noah jumps and picks the ball up with his foot and then jumps, grabbing Lavinho for support, and scores a goal, making it 2-2. Isagi thinks to himself, this is the world's greatest striker, Noah, and everyone is now pumped up. Lavinho is mad, but Noah is keeping his calm. And he says that he has to go off now since it's been 3 minutes. But he said Kunigami can swap with him and calls him a wildcard mimic. He doesn't understand what Noah just said. And Noah said, if you want to survive, then prove it with numbers. Isagi approaches Kunigami, and Kunigami says, stay out of my way, Isagi. And Isagi calls him a knockoff hero. Wait up, Kunigami. What did Noah mean when he called you a wild card mimic? Isagi says, how about it, you wild card mimic? Replays in Isagi's head. Kunigami says, what do you want to know? Isagi responds saying, so I can beat you. In the wild card battle, what happened? Kunigami says, the wild card battle was an experience with the goal of creating a vessel could match Noah's physique. Isagi thinks to himself, a vessel? And Kunigami says, a body identical to the world ways player. Isagi asks what that means, and Kunigami says that's all you need to know. And it's not like anyone on this team will pass to you, Kunigami said. Instead of trying to beat me, why don't you worry about yourself, rookie hero? Otahaya gets the ball, and Isagi is now breathing really hard. Isagi tries to get the ball from barcha, who got passed to by Otahaya. Barcha starts dribbling crazy and goes past and passes to Otahaya, who passes back to barcha. Passes back to Otahaya, who gets the ball, who passes back to barcha. Then Grim tries to get the ball. Kunigami comes and says, you're not getting away. As barcha says, catch me if you, and then he does a rainbow flick and says, can. And Ness says, I can read you like a book, little bee. You can't expect the same rhythm to work forever. Ness says, as then he does a mocking tone for buzz buzz. Barcha thinks to himself, he's adaptable. I'll give him that. Your evolutionary webinar, Barcha says. Time for a fast break. Ness tries to pass to Kaiser, but Isagi steals it from Kaiser before it reaches him. Isagi starts having uses his metavision for a goal at 2%, a fake to one side and a dribble to the other side for 29 meters. He thinks to himself if he should dribble or fake because the goal is too far away. He finally makes his decision to try and shoot, but then someone blocks it. And he tries to steal it, and he thinks what he's supposed to do. Then Grim gets the ball, and he wants to regroup, but no one can hear him. Now Isagi enters the flow, and he wants to find the missing piece that'll become my challenges. Barcha is worried because they got the ball in the goal area. Kunigami tries to block Kaiser from getting a pass, as Otahaya tries to block Eric from getting Grim to get a pass. But then Grim passes the ball to Ness, and Ness says perfect, but Isagi steals the pass, and Barcha comes face to face with him and says, "Not with your shooting power, Isagi." And Isagi tells Barcha to shut up and dribbles past him and does a shot feint. And then Kaiser starts running, looking for a pass. But Isagi says, "That's it, keep talking, Kaiser, like I would ever pass to someone like you." He passes to Kunigami, and Kunigami looks shocked for a sec, as Isagi says, "Now you should prove yourself, knockoff hero." He says to eliminate Kaiser and this whole team. This is our bust through them. Isagi says, "Last piece, Kunigami, with your hero's left leg." A puzzle piece appears saying lefty shot, and Kunigami scores with his left leg, as it's a goal. Everyone is shocked as Munchen wins. Isagi says, "Let's go, knockoff hero. This team is ours."